G'day champions, it's finally time. For those unaware of this channel, this is not a camera review channel, so stop right here because this is an uninformed idiot talking about a new toy that he just got, and this is not where you come for camera information. So close the channel right now, go to Camera Conspiracies or some other champion like that. They're much better informed than I am. To those in the know, you know, my regular viewers, you're well aware that my love affair with Lumix has always been a bit of a strained one with the Panny boy. And recently, one of them, my favourite workhorse here, the G85, took a bit of a dip during a four-wheel driving trip.
It's not good. It's going to be a dodgy trip from here on in. Everything soaked.
Looks like we're stuck with the phone from now on, champions, because Jace drowned my camera and my gimbal, so that's all fucked. Mic's fucked, gimbal's fucked, camera's fucked. I hope the card's okay. Lens may or may not be fucked. All my warm clothes are fucking soaking wet. Bed, oh, looks like that'll be alright. The tent's dry. This is our food, toilet paper. They're now known as wet wipes.
Wet wipes if you need some. Oh, we got wet wipes.
Oh, compressor's fucked. Coffee's fucked. That's the worst part. Never a dull moment, eh, champions? Looks like I finally get that fucking new camera I was looking for, eh? Wonder if you can get it on insurance. Wouldn't mind a new Sony. Got to see the bright side of these things.
It's sort of like one of those things, if you overanalyze it, you fuck it.
Everything's slowly drying out by the fire. We've got to stoke her up again. So, you want to debrief, lads? What happened? Run us through it.
Okay, I'll tell you what happened.
So all this stuff's hanging up there for a reason.
Yeah, I've got a good reason. So we split up. We had three cars. I was third in line. We had Dave go up the track.
Yeah.
And then actually, no, Jace went up the track. Dave went down here, and I thought, oh, down there would be good. And then Dave said, oh, this spot looks good. So find me up here, Phil. So we've come up here. Jace has gone, yeah, that looks good, but I can find somewhere better.
Yeah, over there.
I can find somewhere better. So he started off. Dave goes, let me walk it for you. She'll be right.
Over there's where he thought was better.
So I didn't hear this conversation. This is the conversation I heard afterwards. So I'm going along here now. I'm a rookie at this. Not the best four-wheel driving. Car's going up there. And I said, Dave, what's he doing? I said, that car looks like it's floating.
He's going to the forbidden land.
And Dave's doing these ones.
Yeah.
Typical Jason look.
And then I'm like, well, what do I do to help here?
Nothing.
I've got
Sit
no
back and
winch.
watch the action.
I've got no winch. I've got nothing here.
All that
The
floats.
problem I didn't know about was the little broken bits where the air is.
She's got a
Only
little,
air is meant to go through and water doesn't go
got a
in
little
there.
mouth.
Except
Little
it
mouth.
does because it has mouths.
It's got mouths.
It has mouths.
So
I had a malfunction.
malfunction. So now all our shit's hanging up here, and
Quite malfunction.
the camera you legends know
$3,000 worth of camera.
know very well is fucked. So that's
Brad turned up. Brad's gone.
that's Panny boy that you guys.
Okay.
Yeah,
They're always-
what were the words? Well, yes, it's dry.
Yeah. So that's the Panny boy that you guys know and love. There's my 9mm lens. She's fucked. I'll dry it out and see if it works again, but I don't think so. The lens that was on it is okay, the 12 to 60mm. So I can go on with that and the GH5s, so that's cool. I've got a rig to keep going with. The gimbal's fucked. I might try and do a warranty on that. That'd be funny. Completely dry it out and go, yeah, I don't know, just stop working. No, I won't do that. That's a bit scummy. Charger, I don't know if it works or not. It was working when the car got pulled from the water. The camera bag is drying out here. I'm just trying to get some sun into it. The seat covers, the mats, you name it. All my jumpers and that. Fortunately, it's pretty warm this year, so we don't have to worry about the jumpers.
Came in the passenger door window at
Yeah.
the deepest point.
It came in through the outdoor. So we're drying the air filter with realised that Jace intelligently realised that we probably shouldn't just keep running the engine when it's full of water because we might throw a rod. So he's taken the injectors out, sorry, the glow plugs out. And we turned her over and she shot out 4 jets of water, as you'd expect. Taken the airbox and everything off, and just trying to dry everything out. So good fun. It's fucking expensive, this four-wheel driving hobby, but you know, we love it. This is why we do it. We've done it since we were kids. I just let him spend the money on the car. I don't even have a four-wheel drive, so I just ride along and laugh at his expense. But now it's kind of both of our expense, but you know, shit happens. So this is a sleeping setup. We've got what we call swags in Australia. They're like mini one-person tents on beds, because you can see here we're on a riverbed. So not very comfortable to sleep on that. River's beautiful. You can't see it for the reflection because the camera with the polarizer lens is fucked, but whatever. I think I'll just bring the camcorder for future trips. Bringing all that mirrorless SLR and stuff it's not really conducive to the action-packed adventure out here. So we've turned the motor over. She's running. We're just letting the air filter dry out a bit now before we chuck it back on. So I'll camp here another night. We've got a ridiculously expensive tri-tip rump to cook. So we'll do that. And see if we can break some more shit tomorrow.
Nah, mate.
What do you reckon?
Job done. Yeah. Shut up and eat it.
Fuck yeah.
Stop asking questions. Put it in your mouth hole. Oof. What are you after? You want there's a little pan. Where'd that go?
It's yakiniku time. We've got some of Scotty's Marble Score 9 Wagyu here. We've got the stone grills happening. Chuck them on the fire. Everyone's personal barbie. And we've got a caveman barbie down here too, which is doing the same job. Chuck a bit on.
A few different shapes. Here we go.
Now I took out the battery in the card, opened everything I could, and actually literally baked it in my oven in the kitchen at home. So I'm back home now, champions. Got a sore throat. I think I'm a bit sick. And we just bloody got the oven there, just drying out the bits and pieces. Set it to like, I don't know, 45 degrees. It's been sitting stable and it's just gently warm to touch, but fan forced. We'll see what that does to it. I don't hold much hope. Alright, let's see how we went after baking all night. Ooh. Promising. No moisture inside the lens anymore. I don't know how good it's going to be long term, but it worked. This one I think was dry anyway, but I thought, what's the harm in letting it just roast overnight just to be 100% sure. Roasted Canon? Oh. Panasonic, mate.
Roasted Panny.
Roasted Panny boy. And speaking of Panny boy, I'll put the mic in there as well because that got soaked. So we'll do a sound test. We'll see if that works still. Put the memory card reader in there. That was working anyway, but I thought, you know, just best to be safe. In the moment of truth, I opened her up. Ooh, the shutter's actually gone back. Okay. The cloudiness in the viewfinder's gone. It's still dirty. It needs a clean. Let's put a battery in and see what we get. Battery contacts look good. Still dirt and stuff. Still needs a proper clean, but no point cleaning it if it doesn't work, eh? Shut the lid. Sorry, trying to do this one-handed is difficult. Green light. No fucking way. Oh, it's gone away again. Okay, got a bit excited there, but I don't think she's happy still. On. Maybe if I set the clock, it'll stay awake. 1st of Jan 2016. I wish. So just trying the 9mm. It's probably going to have issues in the future, but like with mold or whatever, dirty river water. But looks like no autofocus. So usually autofocus on the lens, in my experience, is the first thing to go. So you can only use her in manual, but does the manual even work? and it started to slowly show more and more signs of life. Each time I turned it on, a feature would come back.
Okay, so she still manual focuses. It's like the autofocus motor is gone. So I don't know, I could let it bake for a bit longer maybe. Okay, she's still got some issues. It's frozen now, just like the system's locked up, so... Oh, nope, she's dead again. I got a bit too excited. Yeah. Alright, she's hooper duped. So the lens and this camera, possibly that lens in the future, but it is currently working. So it's funny that the LVF is still operating. It's like the operating system is corrupted or whatever. Yeah, got a bit excited there because it powered up, but yep, still probably not worth it. So GH5s it is, until we can afford another camera.
Now, it is a little bit twitchy still, but it seems to be improving, but I'm not going to bet on it lasting long term from now on. So I'll flog that off for $100 or so and sell the lens that got wet as well. In fact, I'll probably sell quite a bit of my Micro Four Thirds gear. It was fun to explore into the Micro Four Thirds world, and I think Micro Four Thirds will always have a part in my life, in my heart, if you will, for multiple reasons. Primarily because I don't want to take an expensive camera anywhere, and that stifles creativity. So I always want to have a cheapo camera with readily available, you know, secondhand lenses that I can drag around with me, and just, that's the essence of photography. It's catching the moment, always being on, always having your little faithful everyday camera in your bag, ready to rock, charged up, with your favorite little lens, often a prime, and you zoom with your feet. I kind of like having a somewhat feature-starved camera as my sort of go-to, so you don't end up in, you know, option paralysis. You just pull the thing out, start shooting. It's always in manual, ready to rock. Half the time it's in manual focus as well. I did grow up on film SLRs, and I like to try and remember what it was like to use the Pentax MX, where the only electronics in it was the light meter itself. So although I do like to play with cameras, I'm more of a dopamine addict, so I like to just play with them. I don't get into the specs and stuff like Lyle does. I don't get too caught up on, you know, calibrating them or anything. I just pick the thing up and start shooting, and away we go. That's just the way I am. I never really liked researching stuff. Hence the two lenses that I have either side of this camera body. There is nothing worse than getting a camera body, brand new camera body, either shipped out to you or bringing it home from the store, and not having a lens to play with on it straight away. Even if it's a crappy kit lens, you've got to have a lens when you get a new toy, otherwise you just sit there. It's like torture. You're sitting there, it's like getting a new guitar with no strings on it. It's just, you don't put yourself through it. So I got a mad deal on these three items: the A6700, the E11mm f1.8. Now I plan on using that for architectural as well as nature walk videography on the gimbal. If you have a really wide angle lens, super wide angle, and that's about as wide as you can get on APS-C before it starts being a fisheye, even that will require some corrections so you don't end up with warpiness and bent lines. But having a really wide angle lens really makes you feel like you're in the scene, particularly when you're doing like nature walks or city walks. On a large like 4K screen, you literally feel like you're in the moment. Combine that with some really well captured audio, ambient sounds and whatnot, and it can be a very immersive experience. Now during COVID, I started getting a bit sort of cabin feverish and wanted to travel and explore, and obviously we couldn't do that during lockdown and whatever. So what I started doing was getting on Google Maps and just planting myself in Street View in a city, like just Puerto Rico or whatever. And it allowed you to just wander around the city, but it was sort of, you sort of saw blurry, dodgy photos. There was no movement. And then I thought, there's probably people on YouTube who do this, and maybe they make a bit of an art out of it, and see how good they can get their footage and walk around the cities without being a tour guide, like just walking around silently, so you can sort of put yourself in their shoes and immerse yourself in whatever city. And I found a few of those, and that's where I started getting interested in cameras. There's a particular channel that walks around Japan, various places, mainly in Tokyo, but all over Japan, called Rambalak. I think that's how you pronounce the name, but he's a camera nerd. Now, he tries to get the best possible footage, the best noise performance, best low light footage, best stability, It's audio, really nice quality ambient audio. And that sort of inspired me and led me down the Lumix route, because when I started watching him, I think he was running a GH5. I don't think it was a 5S, I think it was a GH5. And I found one of them cheap, and that led me down the Lumix path. And then Lyle shared a channel called Camera Conspiracies with me, because he thought the bloke's dumb sense of humour would tickle my fancy, and it totally did. And he was using the Lumix G85. He was going down sort of the performance pathway and getting into Sony and the A7S, what is it? A7S3? That's like the video-centric full-frame Sony. And he was reviewing that one. It was amazing. But he pined for the days where he just had his G85 and that was his just go-to. And he learned how to use it, and no bullshit, just pick her up and go. You know, punk rock. Do it right now. DIY. Cheap as. Go for it. So that led me to get a G85, which is sort of was my drag around camera, until it went for a dip. So I am going to miss the G85. It is a fantastic camera. The stabilization is still world class, still leading, industry leading. But the autofocus was dog shit. I couldn't focus on anything. If I had it set on my face and face detected, it'd focus on like the PowerPoint in the background, or it'd find two circles like a set of spanners or something and think it was eyes and focus on that. And but sometimes the autofocus would just not even try. Like you'd hold something up and it just wouldn't shift, and you put it down and it wouldn't shift. You'd hold it up and it wouldn't shift. And now all four Lumix cameras I've owned, the autofocus function exactly the same, almost unusable. So I just accepted the fact that for photos it was great, the autofocus was super quick and worked perfectly, but for video it was just hopeless. So it turned out that Lumix were sort of not working on their autofocus system, their contrast detect autofocus system that all my cameras had, because they were putting all their money into their new phase detect to compete with Sony. And now Lumix have world-class phase detect, super quick, super accurate. Some argue even better than the best Sony. So they sort of kept their powder dry, but by the time it was ready for use, the war was over. They'd already lost. Now, if I was to stick with Lumix, and I love their user interface, I love the firmware, it's great. Their dial positions, they're really well thought out, very ergonomic to use. The GH5s that I've got filming right now, I'm going to keep that camera because it's awesome. I'm going to keep the one stabilized lens I've got, which is the one you're looking at right now. And this will be my knockabout sort of outdoor footage camera. It's still worth a fair bit, but probably say $1,000 for the body. But it's not going to be as heartbreaking to lose as if I lose the A6700. So the 6700 will live either at the workshop or at home. The GX85 will remain my face cam, and that's what I'll take to the city and stuff and do street photography with. And the GH5s will probably be relegated to walking videos or traveling. So I'll probably flog the majority of my Micro Four Thirds gear. I would still like the ability to take video, however, so I can take it traveling. I won't worry too much about losing it. So anyway, we've talked enough bullshit. Let's open this up and see how quick it is for an idiot like me to get it up and running and get some basic settings sorted out. Alright, who wants to break the seal? I think we better open the camera body first. Suspicious that that doesn't have a seal. Got a little manual. Everything's pretty much online these days. You don't really get the big thick manuals like you used to. Oh, it's got like a little cellulose fibre bag that the camera's in. It's got the body cap, good to see. Got the hot shoe insert. Leave that on. It's very light. It feels like nothing on it's made out of metal. I'm used to the big chunky GH5s, which is kind of a good feeling. It's a bit heavier than you'd like, but sometimes the heaviness feels right. It feels like it's got a bit of mass to it. It feels a bit chunky. It feels like it will break other things instead of other things breaking it. So what do we got here? We've got a couple of user buttons. Function buttons, autofocus on and off. This is going to kind of annoy me. I'm going to miss Panny Boy. just because of the different button locations and stuff, because it becomes just muscle memory, and the muscle memory has to be retaught, and that really sucks. Just like learning a new piece of CAD software. It's really painful for the first ever. Alright, what else we got? We've got a strap, of course. Got another little fibre bag holding the battery. I'll have to get spare batteries too, that's another point. Now, I've heard rumours, and I'm intentionally not doing research because I want to find this stuff out. Now, I've heard rumours, and like I said, I'm not very good at researching these things. I just sort of jump straight in. But apparently you can use some of these without a capture card. Like, they just feed out on the USB, like the video data, and it shows up as a capture card. So I hope that's the case. That'd be really cool. It's got the HDMI out and headphone out, which is handy. But it would be really cool if we could plug it straight into the computer and not have to worry about a capture card. That means I could sell some capture cards and make up some cash as well, because the Magewell itself, like, well, was like $500. That's where the mic plugs in, USB, and this is actually a charge port, which is important. Now, one of the big things that annoyed me about Panny Boy was you can't charge via the USB port, and there's no other power input. So you've got to have a dummy battery and an expensive power supply that simulates the battery, and you have to have a separate battery charger. The camera itself doesn't charge a battery. So that itself is just a massive improvement on the Panny Boy, because you can just plug a USB in and it charges a battery, and it operates off the USB while it's streaming and filming. I'm not sure. Got the proper flippy screen, which is a must. Wasn't getting anything with the half-baked flippy screen. Needs the full articulation. And at first I didn't like the non-central viewfinder, but now thinking about it, one thing that used to piss me off about the Panny Boy, still does, is you're looking through the viewfinder and then your nose touches the screen, and even when the EVF has turned the screen off, the screen still works as a touch screen to change the focus location. As far as I know, you can't turn that feature off. So having your eye off to the side means your nose is hanging out here, not touching the screen. So I don't know if that's the case, if the operating system works the same way, but yeah, that really annoyed me with these, because as soon as your nose touches it, you just change your focus. You're wondering why your focus is down in the corner, because one eye's there, one eye's over here. Oh, it is for me. I don't know about you. Right, so battery in. Let's just fire it up, see what happens. It's probably going to ask us for the date. Ting ting, English, yes please. Certain features of the biometric data, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. It's either throw the camera in the bin or return it, or agree, so I guess I'll agree. Connect your smartphone via Bluetooth and set up camera's initial settings. Really? Okay. Does that mean I need an app? I'm not really interested in downloading an app right now, so let's go do not connect. Smartphone can be connected later from smartphone connect. Okay, fine. Set area, date, time. Okay. We are in Australia. We're in Sydney. Melbourne, Sydney. Okay. Daylight savings. Yes. Up. Oh, hang on. Date? No, I'm not in the Solomon Islands. Oh, hang on. Okay, daylight savings on. Date, month, year. The 10th. 2024. It is 24 hours? No. Let's go. Ah, I see. It's telling you what button to press. I'm such an idiot. It's 18:29. Could you hear that one? 18:30. Alright, I'm getting a hang of it. Seconds, who cares? 07. When shooting from a tripod, instead of shooting under the auto power off temp to high to extend recording time, would you like to set? Okay. Temperature of the device may... This is concerning. The temperature of the device may rise to prioritize recording time. Okay. Swiping to the left, right, up calls out on the... Yeah, righto. Oh, I already don't like the operating system. Oh. This is gonna really suck. I want my Panny Boy. Right, let's turn it off. The off goes the other way, which is gonna fucking kill me. Remember why we're leaving, Panny Boy? You don't know how to focus on anything, do you? Focus there. So here the on is that way and there the off is that way. So that's going to really fuck with my head. Alright. I've been institutionalized by Lumix. I don't know how anyone works over a camera. That's why I have the overhead. This is really difficult. I feel like I'm going to put a art knife through my hand. Wouldn't be the first time. So 11mm. It's got some buble wrap. It is Christmas time. Out comes the buble. It's got a little. It's funny when they give you a. It's funny when they give you a hood on these ultra wides because it's like nothing's touching the hood, bro. Like, look. Did I go the wrong way? Yes, I did. Hello? I want to force it. There we go. Is it a function button? Auto manual. Okay. Moment of truth. Look at that big sensor in there. APS-C. It's a gorgeous thing. Oh, no, you got to start it at another point. Click. That felt a bit stiff. Alright, I think we're good. On. That is so wide. That is crazy wide. Everything's so distorted. Alright. How do we go to video mode? Video? Hello? Is there no video mode? It's just you press the video button. Animal, bird. Am I an animal? Oh god, so much to learn. Autofocus. No, oh, of course it can't record. Okay. Okay. What? I don't know what I just did. This is going to be so annoying. Where's the 400? Alright, where's the aperture? What do you oh, there it is. It's just so tiny. I'll switch them around because I like the aperture being at the back for some reason. Man, this learning curve's going to be huge. Partially because I'm so stuck in Panny boy ways. How's the stabe? It works alright. Alright, I better take it home and learn how to use it. Alright, let's crack open the other one. So I've got a power zoom because I'm hoping I can mount it overhead. Use it pointing down. And the lens won't just fall out under its own weight like all the manually turning ones do seem to. So I've got an 18mm to 105mm. So what's that? That's like, I don't know, 12 to 60 equiv on the old Micro Four Thirds. It's got a hood as well. Looks the business. Leave that off for now. Oh, I just went to grab the Panny boy to put the lens on. That makes me sad. It feels a little stiff. Wrong cap. Alright, let's try this bugger. Shouldn't leave it sensor side facing up. Sorry. Shooting video. Not concentrating. Clickety clack. Alright. Here goes nothing. Zing zing. Making noises. Alright, power zoom. Does this have an auto / manual focus? No? Okay. That's too close to focus. Too close to focus. Almost. Panny boy has no trouble focusing. It's only about 3 inches from the lens. Alright, so first impressions are not brilliant in terms of the menu. But that's just because I'm used to this little bugger. And the menu system in Panasonic is one of its strengths. Very logical. Over here, I don't know how to get to... I don't even know how to get to the settings. Point being, I need to read, and I hate reading. Menu. Okay. Shutter speed, aperture. Alright, so one other thing that's really good on Panasonic, this sucks because I'm just going to keep finding stuff wrong with it. The LVF sensor, I don't know where to turn it on or off. Oh, there's the video switch, right. I'm not sure if it's in a menu or not, but on all the Panny boys I've got, they've just got a LVF switch over here. So, you know, it turns on and off. Hit the button, stays off. Hit the button, stays on no matter what. That's really handy. I'm going to miss you, Panny boys. Who knows, I might be back. Buyer's remorse kicking in. Haven't even used it yet. I'm just an idiot. Alright, so we're in video mode. HD 50p. Still got no card in it. That's all good. But now we should have stabilization happening the whole time, and I believe we do. So what I might do is plug it into the HDMI, get some output on it, and then see how the focus goes, because that's the main reason I got this thing, because it can actually focus on stuff, unlike the pulsing that you're seeing right now. Panny boy trying to focus on things. Go on, champ. See, it just gives up sometimes. It needs something contrasty. Then it's alright. If it still pulses and every now and then it just stops, it just gives up. And that's all good when you're just doing a video shoot, but if you're doing something that you only have one chance at, like a live event, and it always seems to shit the bed right at the critical moment when you need it to focus, and then you end up with footage like this. This is just me convincing myself that this was the right move. Anyway, champions, I'm going to have a play with this thing, and I don't really have time to, but I'm going to anyway, because I want to produce some good footage for you legends, and I want things to be in focus, and I want to be able to, you know, dazzle. So at the moment, there's more frazzle than dazzle, so let me go and learn this thing, and I'll see you once I've got half a clue on what I'm doing with it. Until then, let's hear it. Moment silence for Panny boy. I bet it never fails now. I bet it just keeps working forever, just to make me have proper buyer's remorse.